Y'all, Diddy has just been hit with $100 million default judgment. He owes this guy in jail who hasn't even proven that he even knows Diddy. Diddy owes him $100 million because the guy was able to get a default judgment against Diddy. So we're gonna get into that in this video. But first, if you're watching, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, girl. Go ahead and subscribe and let's get into it. Okay, so TMZ is reporting Diddy just took a huge L in a sexual assault lawsuit he blew off because a judge just slapped him with $100 million default judgment. The guy's name is Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith, and he's an inmate. And he claimed in his lawsuit against Diddy that Diddy drugged him and SA'd him at a party in Detroit back in 1997. It's unclear if the statute of limitations has run, but that wasn't addressed by the judge. And so that makes me think it hasn't run out. And this guy has been in jail. This guy right here has been in jail studying the law. He's been in jail studying the law. I'm going to show y'all him in court. I'm going to show y'all this court case. He's been in jail studying the law, and he was able to get a default judgment out of Diddy. So TMZ goes on to report that according to the lawsuit, the two were drinking and smoking at a party and got a little loose with a bunch of women. And the guy says that he was doing his thing on a woman when he felt a male hand on his left cheek, right cheek, and it was Diddy's hand. A short time later, he said Diddy offered him a drink, that infamous Diddy drink, and he said the drink was spiked and he passed out. So this sounds like it could be true because it sounds like that's what Diddy does. He offers people drinks and the next thing they know, they waking up sore. So it could be true, but at the same time, everyone knows that this is how Diddy works. So y'all make of it what you will. I'm just here to report the news. Cardello-Smith claims he woke up and saw Diddy having intercourse with a woman, and Diddy allegedly said to him, "I did this to you too." So he sued for $100 million. And like I said, we're going to look at the court case. But according to the legal documents, it appears that Diddy did not file an answer to the complaint. And he discussed this with the judge about Diddy not filing an answer on purpose because Diddy said he would rather deal with the default. So they say a hearing for a default judgment was set for Monday, but no sign of Diddy. And now it's Tuesday. So the judge gave the guy what he wanted, $100 million. And so the judge made a payment schedule of installment payments of $10 million per month starting on October 1st. Oh my God. They said they reached out to Diddy's team. So far, no word back. But let me share this little update with you guys because this update is important because we're here to separate the lies from the truth. Now, in this update, Diddy's attorney told TMZ, quote, "This man is a convicted felon and sexual predator who has been sentenced on 14 counts of SA and kidnapping himself over the last 26 years. And so I feel like that means a lot as far as his credibility. To me, that says a lot. So Diddy's lawyer says his resume now includes committing a fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Now, in the court case we're about to watch, the judge looks down at her paperwork and confirms that Diddy was served. So we know that that's a lie because the judge confirmed that Diddy was served. So obviously he's heard of him. And the guy even said that Diddy visited him in jail and offered him a settlement. And so there has to be records of him visiting him in jail. And the guy alluded to there being records. So let's go ahead and get into the court case, y'all. Okay, so this judge, she shares her court cases on YouTube. It's just on YouTube, and I'll put a link to it below, but we're going to watch the whole thing play out.
Your Honor.
All right, thank you. This is in the matter of Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also known as Sean Puffy Combs. And this is file number 24-7362NO. We'll grab your paperwork here real quick out of this other paperwork. We do have Mr. Cardello-Smith appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Sir, where are you currently located?
I'm located at the Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility, 2500 South Sheridan Drive, Muskegon, Michigan, 49444, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Or Your Honor.
Thank you. So I do see.
And I feel like this guy is a perfect example of like how judges want you to act in court. Like when they ask you a question, they want a full answer. Like, where are you? And he gives the exact location and exact address. You can tell he studied this. And he's like, you know what? Your Honor. A lot of times, women judges, a lot of times people refer to them as a ma'am, but it is Your Honor. So you can see he's practiced, he studied, and he won.
That we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs. But for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith.
So she was saying that he was served, and she'll repeat this later. It'll be clear later. She'll say it again that Diddy was served. Like there's proof of service regarding the sexual assault case. But this particular moment in court, this day in court, is not about the SA case. It's about an injunction. He doesn't want Diddy to be able to sell his homes because he's like, if Diddy sells his homes, how is he going to pay me my $100 million? So all the major news outlets were reporting on this yesterday about Diddy listing his home for sale. This is page 6. Sean Diddy Combs lists Beverly Hills mansion for $61 million. No surprise. This is the same home that Homeland Security investigated. They say Sean Diddy Combs is listing his Beverly Hills mansion for $61 million. There were previously rumors that the hip-hop mogul was quietly putting the lavish spread up for sale, but we hear it's officially hitting the market today.
A temporary restraining order. We did set that for hearing today, and luckily the Brooks Correctional Facility was able to make you available. Actually, they had to drive someone up today on another case. So, sir, I have received your motion and a proposed order. Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is based on 2 actions taken by Mr. Combs himself, directly with me here. We did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room. There's 2 meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. And he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million to allow what happened to me to go away. And he stated that.
So Diddy came to visit him in jail. This is what he's saying, that there's a record of Diddy visiting him in jail. And then the conversation was, I got to spend my money on other things. He got a lot of other lawsuits. So he can't be going through all this. So he offered him a settlement of $2 million.
That he's going to be selling his property. And under the 2005 California Civil Code 2881-2885, the creation of liens, which allows out-of-state justices and orders to cause a stop of any title transfer, property transfers in Los Angeles or any other place that he has property. He stated that he wouldn't be able to proceed with that sale. And he did it the day after I served him the suit. And he also said that he won't be filing an answer to the complaint. He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with default than he would with having a restraining order stop. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And he pretty much said, yeah. He says, you know how we get down. And I said, okay, well, I disagree with how you get down. Your sale shouldn't go through.
So I'm gonna hold on.
I'm sorry.
Cardello-Smith. Okay, so you went in a different direction than I thought you were going into. I thought we were just gonna focus. No. You kind of went off on a different direction than what your actual motion was.
Yeah.
So what I just want to say is settlement negotiations.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In this case,
Separate
they're
hearing.
probably better not, yeah, they're not to be placed on
I'm
the
sorry.
record today. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You're not an attorney. I understand that. So if we can just,
So everything he just said about Diddy offering him a settlement, basically it's not going to be on the court record, but it is in the public record. You know, all of this is public record. It's available to the public, and you know, it's out there. It's out there that Diddy offered him a settlement prior to the default judgment.
Okay.
backtrack and focus just on your
Yes,
motion.
ma'am. I get what you want.
Okay, thank you.
If he's allowed to sell his property that he has in LA and the properties that are in his name being used and held by other people in Michigan, then it will cause me harm because I can be tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison through money that I've sent. And
now this is the part I need more information on, because he's saying that he invested with Diddy. So I feel like anything you're saying in court, you have to prove. But he's saying that he is connected to those properties through investments with Diddy.
if he's allowed to go through with any of the sales, I won't be able to recoup any of my monies or anything from him as a result of any possible judgment in this action, if he's allowed to proceed with it. And an injunction or a restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid this responsibility in these matters here. That's what a temporary restraining order would do. It would prevent that from happening. Because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money. And him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me. And I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the restraining order to prevent that. There won't be any harm to him, any of the parties. There won't be any harm to him in any way. And if it's deemed that it's not justified, then he can go ahead and go through with the sale at the end of the case. But one has to be put in place to stop this from happening.
Okay. Okay. So thank you.
That's interesting, though. That's interesting. Like I said, this was a month ago. At the end of this court case, this guy, he does win this case. He does get the injunction. But then yesterday was like the actual case as far as like the money. And yesterday, the default judgment was entered. He won a default judgment yesterday.
Okay. All right. I'm going to check one more of your filings. So I'm going to step off the bench for 2 seconds and I'll be right back. All right.
Yes, Judge Anzalone.
Thank you.
You with the defense?
No, sir. I'm having a hearing and they stopped the hearing so you could be heard.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're
Nice
welcome.
tie.
Thank you.
Mhm. Couldn't wear one. They don't give us ties.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Right. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I know the meaning.
But they clip-ons, you know.
Yeah. Clip-ons are the best, aren't they?
So this guy's so professional. He has all his little professional chit chat and all of that. It's crazy. But the judge is coming back. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
All right. So thank you, sir. Is there anything else you wish to?
You see what I mean as far as the court etiquette? How you saw, like, when the judge left, they stood up, and you saw how when she came back up, he stood up again. Like, he is winning this lady over.
Okay. All right. So thank you, sir. Is there anything else you wish to add?
I was just, first off, just thank you for giving me the hearing and thank you for setting a pretrial on this matter. Thank you, Your Honor. There were some other filings. There were some other filings that you should have gotten. I didn't know if that's one of the filings you could have been referring to.
So I received your complaint and all the attachments to it. And then I received this motion And I just wanted to take a moment to review back through the U.S.
Okay.
District Civil Docket and your complaint. So I did do that. That's all. And,
Yes. Okay.
okay. Anything else?
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as it seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a proof of service showing that Mr. Combs was served on July 6th.
I told you guys. So even though TMZ has, they're hearing from Diddy's lawyer saying that Diddy's never heard of this guy, he was never served. The quote from the Diddy's attorney: "This man is a convicted felon, predator." And he said his resume now includes committing fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Y'all just heard the judge say that he was served on July 6th.
Of 2000 and, let me see, is that 24?
Yes, Your
Yep.
Honor.
Looks like it. 2024, return receipt requested was provided. So there is proper service. Mr. Combs has neither appeared nor responded to this request. So I'm going to grant your motion for a preliminary injunction temporary restraining order, and order that the defendant and their agents are hereby enjoined temporarily for a period of 90 days on the sale, transfer, or exchange, trade, or transaction of title or deed to the property listed as the address and placed on the market by defendants for the amount of $70 million. And this property and estate belonging to or connected to defendant Sean Combs shall cease and desist any and all trades, transactions, or otherwise stop the process of any further actions on this property being continued, and this shall have an immediate effect. I'm going to date this August 7th of 2024. And I am going to sign this. And we are set for a pretrial date on Monday, September 9th of 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Is there
Your Honor?
anything else? Yes, sir.
So that was yesterday's date, Monday, September 9th. Now, this guy, he is going to try to pull it. He's going to try to ask, can I go ahead and win right now? He's going to make a verbal request now that she's going to require in writing. And so by the time yesterday came, September 9th, he had submitted it in writing and he won.
Yes, thank you so much, Your Honor. First off, thank you very much, ma'am. The second thing is, under the summons rules and the court rules of service, Mr. Combs, the defendant, had 28 days after he was served by mail, 21 if it's regular process service. His 28th day was the August 3rd, and there was no answer on the default. And I understand that I have to motion verbally or in writing, whichever one you prefer, however you prefer, to have default judgment entered. And today is literally the 28, 9, 30, 31, 32nd day, I believe. And I'd like to either preserve the issue of default judgment or judgment in my favor based on failure to answer.
Okay.
Whichever Your Honor would like.
All right, thank you. Typically, we require that. Ms. McGrain. Is
How
Ms.
would you spell
McGrain
her
in her-
name, Your Honor?
Oh, no, I'm, hold on, I'm talking to my judicial attorney. Typically, we require the motion for the affidavit and motion for default be filed. So Ms. Adams, is Ms. McGrain in her office?
She is not. I'm going to go find her right now, Judge.
Okay.
I know,
Hold
I
on.
read that rule. I read the rule, Your Honor. MCR 2.603 governs that. And it said the party can do it in front of the trial court judge or
Yeah.
by mail. Whatever you want.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get that. Usually we require it. Can you hear her, Mr. Sala? Ms. McGrain marching down the hallway. She sounds like a herd of cats.
You see him smiling, you know he winning.
All right. Okay, so, sir, the court rule that you're referring to, it's not a trial date, so I think I'm right. So you're gonna have to file the affidavit and request for default, okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
And, obviously you'll be able to file that before a pretrial date anyway, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so
All
the
right,
order was
so-
granted?
The order, your ex parte motion was granted, or your motion for a temporary restraining order was granted. I've signed it. And so we'll get that processed and back to you, and then you'll have to obviously serve that on the parties.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Can your order
All right.
say any, Your Honor, can you add on your order any Michigan representatives of him acting on his behalf for Michigan properties as well as part of that order? Or does your order cover everything?
You provided the order, so I'm going off.
Yes,
the
I
order
did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I'm going off the order you provided to me, and I've signed that
Okay,
order
that's-
already.
That's what I
Okay.
needed. Thank you. All right,
All
thank
right,
you, Your
thank
Honor.
you, thank you, Mr. Cardello-Smith, and we'll make sure the writ's done, and we'll see you back in September. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
He said, God bless you. That is so crazy. Look at him smiling. Look at him smiling.
When she's coming around the corner.
He just got his money. He is so excited. And that's crazy to me. But I'm going to be following this because, like he said, he had some investments with Diddy. He said Diddy visited him in jail, and made some propositions to him. And so we need to see the receipts. We need to see the receipts and see what's really going on here. Right now, he won. Right now, he got his default judgment. But at the same time, Diddy already told him that he would rather fight the default judgment than, I guess, appear in court yesterday. Yesterday, he was on the block hanging with his guys from New York. I think it was G-Dep and some other people. He went back to the hood yesterday. But on today's news, he got this $100 million default judgment. Y'all leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. As always, thanks for watching.